colonization of West Africa over there.
Yeah, that's Abbasid. Abbasid was a
Yep, the caliphate and all of that.
yeah.
So we got a lot of good history that no one likes to talk about, but we gonna talk about it.
Isn't that the era of the caliphate?
Say it again, brother.
Isn't that the era of the caliphate?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And for 15 years, we had like we took over Baghdad and all of that. Iraq, we shut Iraq down
Yeah.
in the year 860 something. For
A
15 years,
863. I mean 883. Yeah.
yeah, for darn near 15 years, we was printing our own money over there, all of that.
All the gold, the old gold they got over there, got the faces on the caliphates.
There you go. You know, a
Yeah,
lot. You know,
does anybody have anything on West African migration? Because I'm not. I've been looking into this. Probably, I think the first time I said it was a few months ago, and I'm at a block. I'm at a block with Google. I'm at a block with scholarship. Does anybody know anything? Any books about West African migration pre? It could even be during the Arabization of Africa, even starting there. Does anybody have any sources on that?
like migration within Africa or from
West
West
Africa,
Africa.
just West Africa specifically. Yes, baby.
I honestly can't say I do.
I don't have a lot on.
I got
So
one that
that's
goes
something they
into
try
it
to
a little
hide.
bit.
I do have like I do see that there was a East West African trade. We had old ancient trade routes that goes into antiquity, and there's stuff that like there's Egyptian pictures of the Dogon. You know, where there was an
Right.
East
Yeah.
African East West African slave trade.
Yeah.
In Kemet, you'll find pictures of the Dogon, and you can recognize the Dogon by their head dressing. And they was establishing trade routes and stuff. But I don't have a good book that I can recommend because I'm still in search myself. But if I find it, I'll definitely shout it out to the family.
Yeah, I don't know. Become sun periods like the 26,000 year period, the sun cycle, the ice age, the stone age, and all that. Find migration during the periods right there, but not no concrete. And them dates and that shit
It's
is
too
so
cold.
old. Some of that,
You're breaking up, Pata. I can't hear you.
yeah, I was saying I don't have anything concrete that I've ran into. Just dealing with the periods in time as far as like I said the ice age, the stone age, the golden age. You find migrations during those periods, and some of the early migrations also was into Asia before even going to other areas. You know what I mean?
Right.
Shout out to Indigo in the house. I see you down there.
Peace, God. Peace, Indigo.
But yeah, the knowledge is out here, family. But yeah, go ahead and look at my book list. I got those are good starter books. Fighting the Slave Trade is a good one.
Yeah.
A good UNESCO book. This is a real good book. This
Oh
got some
yeah,
jewels in it right here. This one got some jewels in it right here. This one have a lot of work from Sheikh Anti Diop and his work with the symposium that he did in Egypt. Remember that when he was with Theo Obanga? I forgot his
Yeah.
name.
yeah,
If I
Theo
pronounce it right.
follow
Right.
Obanga.
It's all in here, bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys want to get a good study on the Egyptian Middle Netter, look up Theo follow Obanga because he breaks that stuff down on YouTube. It's hard as
Theologo
fuck to
Obanga.
follow it, but hey, if y'all can get through his
Hey,
accent,
this is his book right here, family. Right here.
Damn, boy, I'm about to be shopping. Y'all about to have
Yeah,
me
brother.
spending money.
Yeah, we gonna have you right, yo. Oh, I spent some money on these books, yo.
I'm good with that. I'm good with it.
Yeah,
I've been
I don't
trying to
even
get my
care.
collection up. I just don't like buying books that I don't really got no real knowledge in it. Like,
Yeah, I feel you on that. Like if I can get something out of it, that's where I want to go with it. And every book that I put out there, it's got some good jewels in it, good pearls. You just gotta string them along and connect the dots. Another good book. Trying to see since we talking about books is the legacy of Arab Islam in Africa. Black Suma. I'm looking at that book on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm over here
Yeah,
screenshot,
let me
y'all.
let me write
my
that
bad, I was
down.
muted. Yeah, you could find some of it, Tristan, in here. It has some of the migration patterns in here. I'm trying to look for this other
Oh,
book I
okay.
was reading from.
I've been screenshotting the shit out.
See, you also got
That myself.
He been quiet. What was that other
Yeah,
book?
I'm
Black
screen
Holocaust.
sharing it now because we got two
I got
people
the
get banned, so it's
screenshot.
not gonna let me download the live. So if y'all
Yeah,
can
that's the
screen,
short
yeah,
version of the
screen
Black
share,
Holocaust.
screen record y'all the
Thank you,
live so y'all
Mother.
can have it.
look. Y'all also got
Germany's Black
Dr. Ben, the
Holocaust.
black family, I mean the black man of the Nile and his family. You got
Yeah, Dr. Ben,
Stolen
for sure.
Legacy. These is our early books. You got
Yes.
Jim James. It's a lot of writers.
Ooh wee.
You got,
Yes.
you got some good,
Man, you
good
talking.
books. Yeah.
Yeah, if y'all want,
And
if
you can
other
I
people in
got
the
one more,
comment
Tristan. I
section,
just had to find it.
if y'all want some knowledge and y'all like recommendation on books, hit up Port City Vibes, Patah, and Mo Facts.
All day.
And Tristan got a lot of information, so she'll be able to lead y'all to some books too. Cause you said your family come from the Moors, right? Cause she got a lot of information on that as well.
They don't come from the Moors. They got confused by the Moorish Science Temple.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
where my
okay,
knowledge
yeah,
comes.
yeah.
This is Introduction to African Civilization by John G. Jackson.
that's right.
Now he talks about the presence of Africans over here in the Americas, called the Olmecs and stuff like that, and
Yes.
it was a Jaguar culture and stuff. I forgot what page this was
You
on,
okay? Put some ice on it.
but yeah. Matter of fact, I saved it right here on page. Oh man, I
You want some
just on page
tissues?
240. He talks about the Olmecs.
Put
There's a
some
whole
ice on
page
it.
about that.
240.
240. Introduction to African Civilizations by John G. Jackson.
That's right.
Page 240. There's a whole jump.
And we,
Yeah,
and
that's
we gotta really call out them books like when it comes to a specific subject. We call out certain people because Tristan asked for a certain subject, but you can read all of their books. You can read every book they
Shit, I'm
wrote.
reading every single last one.
Word up.
yeah. Create a small library and like whatever you want to study. Just if you want to study West Africa history, just try to nail it down.
Right.
And then you before you know it, you're gonna have a library of books because not one book is gonna tell you everything that you're gonna need to know.
Of course.
You're not gonna get all of that out of one book. That's why we tell everybody to read everything. Read outside the Bible because you're not gonna get everything in one book. So you gotta commit yourself to the knowledge in order to be able to grow as a people. And another good book, Christopher Columbus and the African Holocaust. I know y'all heard about John Henry Clark, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Of course. They came before Columbus. All that.
Ooh. Another book pertaining DNA, Journey of Man. This is the whole genomic test that they did on everybody. Found out we all from Africa right here, and it talks about the human path that got out of Africa.
Right. Yeah, they got
Stuff
some
like
African stuff in there too. That book that I was talking about, they got some of it in there. Yeah.
So it's out there, and
why y'all
and
bragging
it's
about
out
y'all
there.
book collection, man? Yep. I feel insignificant as shit.
Oh man, I ain't started out like this. I had one book. I'm like, man, you start with one book, and my book was no, I think Stolen Legacy and The Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams.
Yeah.
After those two, I was just like, yo, I gotta have another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. And I was just hungry. And before you know it, we got a
There you
library.
go. There you go, right there.
Ooh.
Hold on, wait.
What's that one
Let
now?
me get that. Hold on. I
I'm
gotta
going
put
to
that
Born
in
in
my
Africa,
Amazon.
the quest for
Got
the
that
origins of
screenshot.
human life.
Yeah.
This shit go deep. It even shows you, right? If you read it properly, you understand what they're saying. When they're making these discoveries, they're preparing themselves for scrutiny
That's right.
because they're going to trace it back to Africa. Now, if they're saying that their peers are going to be mad about their discoveries and their papers that they're putting out from their discoveries, then they're telling you that the people at the time are not trying to push that the origins are in Africa. Because what would you be mad about?
Giving the world to black people.
I definitely
Yep.
took a screenshot of that joint.
Yeah, I definitely got it.
We got like a book fair up in this joint right now.
Right?
Yeah, y'all gonna have to give
That's
me
cause
some
y'all
regular or
y'all
something.
bragging and shit.
Here go another one. I ain't trying to be like that. African origins and the civilization. African origins of civilizations, religions, yoga,
Hmm.
mixed. I can't even pronounce that. Ethics and this is a volume
Hmm.
1 through 3. But
It's
anyway, I was
okay.
looking in this book right, and I went before I went to Kemet. I had this book. So I had the book, and I'm like, man, I can't wait to go to Kemet so I can, find some stuff. Well, I found where the where when the Romans and stuff came in to occupy, and they start putting their Christian stamps on everything.
Yeah,
And
I
I
just
saw it in
got it.
this book, and I'm like, all right, okay, cool. Well, I went to Kemet, and I saw it at Kemet, and
Mom said
everything
to
kind
take
of
it
clicked.
home.
I'm like, I see what they talking about right now. I made a post about that too, where how Christianity kind of came
Oh,
into
I
Kemet.
wait, Leo. I
Hold
just
on,
bought
Leo,
two
look
of
at
them,
something.
bro. So the ones you gonna get on that Born in Africa are the expensive ones. I think they got one cheap one left.
Oh shit, we doing a cheap rate.
The Born in Africa book.
Get my book club. I
Yeah.
PDF file for that book.
Yeah,
Hold on, let
and
me
PDFs
see.
is good too. I mean, as long as you got the information.
Right. That's Martin.
Now,
Oh, they got one for $5.
And look, this one right here.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, my
Hey,
man, I
and
got
look,
that jump.
without
Hey,
even
tell her the
making
thing's
the
fell on
effort,
you. Your nose is bruised.
just
It's all
reading
right.
this, if you hear anybody talk about the Exodus, this shit blows it out the water. It don't even make
Uh-huh.
sense. While you reading this and the extensive history behind the Nile Valley, it makes no sense at all. You
That's a
get
good
somebody talk
book.
about the Exodus, just pull out this book and
Yeah,
try
how
to
much?
match
How
dates
much
with
is
them.
that?
Leo going thrift books. They got it for $6.79.
All right.
Yeah, that's a good book. Tony Brada, man, I'm from
I
DC,
ain't
man,
got
so I
none of
went on
his
one of his
books.
trips. Whenever he was doing a Potomac, Egypt on a Potomac trip,
Mhm.
and I ain't even know, but he broke that down to us a long time ago. Um, and I love that book, man. He's still doing work over there in Egypt right now. He's got a archaeological site that's over there right now. He's digging, and he's gonna open that up to the public. I think within the next year or two, because he keeps finding stuff. I believe it's from the 26. I forgot what dynasty it was. Don't give me the. I want to make sure I'm saying the right the right date. But anyway, he found uh, some areas over there that he's doing digs, and they've actually excavated it, and they're gonna try to put all of this stuff back together so people can come and see. I was
Part of my
hoping to see it when I was over
generosity,
there, but unfortunately I didn't.
Yeah, that timeline.
part of my
Uh,
generosity, yo.
they tore him up with that timeline they got. That new timeline he put out. Woo, that shit is long as hell too. Yeah, that thing going across the wall because they just missed
Yeah.
much time. You know. Yeah. That new brother got a nice thing got going on for real. But look,
He
they
said,
put right for Born in Black. That's Howard W. French. Yeah, yeah,
"That's the
yeah.
name of the book, Born in Black."
Howard W. French. Born in Black.
I'm gonna write it down.
Yeah. They speak about having things in chronological order where you can go around the world and all of that.
Hmm.
So they during like they can come up to World War One. Put it that way, 1471. They come all the way up.
Who's it by?
Okay,
Howard W.
All right, I got it.
Howard W. What?
French.
Okay, got you. Man, one of the most expensive books I've ever paid for was this damn book right here. But it's worth every penny to me.
Mm-hmm.
The Encyclopedia of African Religions. And this thing right here, man, I mean, you can go in here and they talk about all types of African stuff. Dogon,
I'm great. I only
Cuba.
have one book in my life, one book, and I only had to buy it because I lost my joint. You know what I mean? So I had to go get the stolen legend. But every other book, either I've had or my wife and her siblings, they grew up with these books. You know what I'm saying? So I,
Hmm.
the only book I ever had to buy over. I just bought that like 3 years ago in D.C. I was in DC. I went through there and stopped at the lounge and all that. Grabbed a book, listened to some poems. They got a nice bookstore. Yeah, yeah.
This one right here,
A lot of the books
Creating
that people got.
Christianity.
Yeah.
Oh, I got
This shit
that
right here,
joint.
the most important part of this book is where the dude John Colenso goes to the Zulus and he's trying to convert them, and he gives his whole spill, his sales pitch and shit, and the Zulus tell him, look, you got it all wrong. You got it ass backwards. And they give him the history. He takes what he learned from them, went back to his people who indoctrinated him, took them to court, won on the low level, and then took them to the higher court, the court of the lords, and beat them with the information from the Zulus, proving that Christianity was fake.
Fact.
That's the most important part of this book. There's some good shit in there, but that part.
Matter of fact, I thought I had that junk. I got that on my cart to add. I need to go ahead and grab that junk. I thought I had that.
Tell them the name of the people who did that, because you told us the names before. So even if they want to Google search that.
Who, the guy, John Colenso?
Yeah, John Colenso. That's what you got to look up, and you'll be blown
John Colenso.
away.
Oh, and he got books too, because after he got a couple of books when he was a believer, but his last 3 books he exposes Paul, the Gospels, and the history.
How you
and the
spell
history
it?
behind it.
How you spell his last name?
Colenso.
I got you. K-O-V-I-C-H.
K-E-O.
K-N.
K what?
C-O-N-E-Z-O-V-I-C-H.
Okay, so spell it one more time.
K-N-Z-O-V-I-C-H.
C what?
H.
The hell you have this over for?
Yeah, gotta get the book. Gotta get your library built up, family.
Oh, they said you breaking up,
Come here and do
Fatah.
What you just come here and do?
It's Colenso is John, and it's C-O-L-E-N-S-O.
John Colenso. Heck yeah.
John
I had that in my
first
cart.
published in South Africa, but his fellow bishops were determined to stop it from being published in England. The church persecuted him in civil courts up to the House of the Lords to ruin him for exposing its claims as fraud, but he assembled his facts in such a masterly form that even a bishop ruled in the House of the Lords had to accept his statements as truth. And that's after he visited the Zulu.
Yeah, they gave him that work down there.
Cooked him.
They gave him that
He had
work.
to humble himself.
They gave him that work. They was like, welcome to death row down here.
Right?
This death row records down here.
The church had to become death row. Like, come on now.
And that's what I tell people, because they be on here, they be like, young man, why do you think that you're very smart, you're brilliant, but why do you think out of all these years that you'll be the first one to figure it out? And I'll be like, oh, no, I'm not. I wasn't the first one to figure it out.
Yeah,
But I followed the same type of path that these other people followed, and we ended up at the same conclusion. And later on, I decided to go back and look. Let me put my ego aside. Let me not say I'm the first one to figure it out. I know somebody else did, but their work is probably hidden. So now we got access to these archives. What do they call it? The Wayback Machine. You can get dissertations from the 1600s. What people said, Martin Luther King did it himself. He traced it back to the Germans. He traced that doctrine back to the Germans, saying they were the first one to give us these versions of Christianity. But
yeah,
we weren't with them.
Yeah, he knew about Kemet too.
dissertation.
Yeah, he knew about Egypt too, because he sure did. He knew.
Right.
He just was, involved with the church too much to really speak a little bit out against certain things. Any Sheikh Anti-Diop book is good too, family. African Origins of Civilization, Myth and Reality is a good one. Civilization of Barbarism is a good one. Um, this man really put some work in early to where all you have to do is pick up a book and just kind of apply yourself to the knowledge. But yeah, I got this John Colenso. I'm gonna go ahead and get that, John. I might have to order that right now.
Yeah, he got a lot of books, yo.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. You got to. You got to. You know, it
Yeah,
helps
no joke.
tell a good story when you have your books
And then
you know,
you get this whole era with the the church saying that they're infallible, and you get this fight between, and this is an academic fight that got bloody between the modernists and then the early church fathers. And what you see happen is you see them concede. They concede to it, but they like, okay, look, y'all right, but what are we gonna do about the people? Because people are in check right now, walking around in the world, because we have this police force, we have this security system, and it's the religion. The religion is our police force. They're walking around thinking about demons and angels and God and the devil and being punished. So if we remove this and let this dude Colenso put out his works and all the other modernists that's coming behind him, it's going to make people see reality different. This was their excuse, that people are going to start saying, well, there ain't no rules then. Since I ain't going to get in trouble, I'm going to start doing whatever I want. That was their excuse. So a lot of people was like, oh, you know what, you're right. If we take the fear of God away from people, then how are they going to act after that? But the modernist was like, it doesn't matter, because the modernist people, they still believed in God. They was like, we still believe in God, but we're not about to sit here and lie on God. There's a difference. We can still have our morals without lying on God about all of these people he destroyed and he killing people and sacrificing his son. Like, it's ridiculous. So why can't we make adjustments to it? And they was like, all right, well, they ain't taking it, so we're going to start locking them up, Inquisition, torturing people, putting them on house arrest. You know, and they got them correct. They got them in line. If they found that you were talking against the Bible, they'll lock you up, torture you, and then put you through training, make you recite the scriptures that you need to recite, put you on a strict diet, and then they'll send spies out. They'll send spies out on you, and then try to get them to basically see if you'll spark up the conversation about going against religion. And if you do, they send you back. And then eventually people calm down. That's why you don't hear about modernists no more. There were people who believed in God but wanted to tell the truth about the doctrine.
And you got to remember who authorized what we're reading. Like, there had to be some type of institution that says, hey, they only can read this. And it was King James and the Romans. The Romans that was in charge put these texts out for us to see. And King James did the same thing. That's why so many things was cut out, like so many books and stuff that was cut out the Bible as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like the institution authorized what we are looking at as far as biblical texts and stuff like that. They control it. It's all the game.
They rejected a lot of texts, calling them pseudepigrapha, meaning it was written 200 or more years after the alleged events. But that's all the Gospels. All the Gospels are pseudepigrapha at that point, but they use these words so that, learned people can intimidate people at a lower level and then just shut them up. Oh, that's pseudepigrapha. You don't even know what the hell that is, because if you knew what it was, you would know the Gospels were pseudepigrapha as well.
Right.
But you accepted those.
Yeah, Josephus writes about Jesus, I think, 80 years after his alleged death. You know what I'm saying? 80 years? 80 years.
If anybody takes Josephus' works to be real, you got to look at them some type of way.
That's another thing. And how many, like they might have been a dude named Jesus, but a dude named Jesus changed the brakes on my car last week too. You know what I'm saying? Like, how common was that name?
Yeah, you got
You know
Jesus.
what I mean?
You got Jesus.
I know a dude named
Ananias.
Jesus that can put up a good roof. You know what I'm saying?
Susan, put up that book cover real quick so you can show them the book cover we was talking about when we first started. Because it's about what he's talking about. Did he freeze?
I'm going to it now.
Jesus was a Caesar.
Have y'all read it?
That one I gotta get that one too,
Shit,
bro.
that costs $161. Shit.
Is it worth it?
I don't know. I ain't got it. I just look. I was
I'm
looking for the
guys.
actual birth date of Jesus, and when I was
uh-huh.
looking for the actual birth date of Jesus, this popped up. So I start
Uh,
reading that shit.
what dates are you getting as far as the dates that they're saying? Like
That's what I'm
30?
saying.
They
I don't
start.
cause
They starting to move him back. Remember, he
Let me
started off at the year. Oh, go ahead, Tristan. My bad.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, let me tell you guys the synopsis of this book. So maybe we need to read this as a book club. The
Okay.
synopsis of this book is that they're trying to relate the historical Jesus that they accept. So I think this historical Jesus is like his name is dang, I said it earlier, Julius. Something I don't know, but they're saying we can accept this historical Jesus, but then they're comparing him to the Jesus of the Bible. So that's the synopsis of this book right here. I think it's going to be an interesting read.
Like there was a historical Jesus, but separate to the miracle Jesus that we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
Right.
they're saying that they're trying to see if they can find connections between the two. I have a feeling because of the title, I have a feeling that they're going to show the non-connectivity to it. So that's why I said maybe we should read this book.
I mean, I'm willing to purchase it. I'm gonna look at it and see if I can get it myself, and we can crack this thing
Well,
open.
if they got it for a cheaper fucking
Yeah.
not the bad.
But I'm waiting on my Follow book to come
I'm gonna
too.
send it.
And Follow had mentioned a word about Jesus, and he was his contemporary. Like this dude was a Roman. He wrote about the Jews. You dig what I'm saying? So why didn't he have anything to say about Jesus, about the death, about the miracles, about this holy man that was roaming around like that? He don't say nothing about him. Philo, I find that kind of odd. I really do. Because
Yeah,
if he
y'all
did
can
all
get
of
it
this
on
stuff,
Kindle for $9.99.
whew, 9.99.
But the hardcover is $161.
You could get the PDF from me for free.
Okay, that's I like that too.
I'm gonna send you my
Them
email.
books get so expensive though, straight up. So I got a lot of
I gotta
PDFs.
snatch them for free, man.
Yeah, like I had the PDF of the encyclopedia. You can get this on PDF too, family, and everybody should have it. The Encyclopedia of African Religion, and this is a really expensive book. It's worth to have, but if you can't get this book, you definitely can get a PDF version of it. But yeah, I have a bunch of PDFs, man, too, because them books get outrageously expensive sometimes. I gotta slow down. I'm like, hold up, G. You done spend a lot of money this month on these books. You gotta cool it.
Just send me y'all email.
Okay.
I sure will. Can you read a little bit from the first one so I can see if my theory is correct? What you seeing?
She's giving credit to, I think, or he or she's giving credit to another author right here. I'm trying to find the introduction. Okay, here we go. This is where they go into it.
You missed the
There are
drama,
differences to
Tabitha.
be ascertained. Both were murdered. Caesar, however, was stabbed while Jesus was crucified with a stab wound in his side. So the history of Caesar and Jesus, people or places the same names, but even more important is the facts that these names appear to be the same in order, and this also applies to famous citations, often verbatim.
So this book is trying to prove that Caesar is literally Jesus. That's not what the
That's what I
synopsis said.
thought.
Nah, I don't.
When I first
I don't
saw
know
it,
about.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay,
Now,
incorrect.
that book I had kind of made it sound like the Romans was. I think that was the Romans' way of identifying themselves as the gods, like the new gods in town. So they put
Right. Yep.
some of these real stories that happened. Like Titus was an actual Roman general that took out a bunch of people in the Sea of Galilee, and you find biblical scriptures that correlate exactly what this did in the military campaign.
Correct.
You know,
And that's what people didn't understand about them. They'll write out their campaign. They'll write it out first and then go do it.
yeah,
They didn't go do it and then write it afterwards. Back then, they would write out the plan and then go do it and then say it's fulfilled. It happened just how we said it was going to happen.
sick comical way of them kind of doing things back then.
Yep, it says finally all the symbols of Christianity are anticipated in the cult of Divus Luisus or Julius. Divus Julius. So yeah, they're trying to line it up.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
But that's what it is. It is Greco-Roman mythology. That's exactly what the New Testament is.
It is. So I'm gonna still read the book, and then when we get in these lives, I'm gonna be like, Jesus was Julius.
I told
Jesus
y'all
was Caesar.
that's what I thought the book
Jesus
was saying.
Titus. Jesus, like in the book.
Wait, Port City.
Jesus
That's what I stand on too. But if we read this book, because I always thought that there was a correlation between Julius Caesar and Jesus. But my personal thought and belief is that Jesus is actually Titus. But if they're making the reference that Jesus is Julius Caesar, then that just throws my shit out of the fucking window.
Because here's the thing. He comes in. Who comes in riding the donkey with the palm branches?
Titus.
Was that Titus?
So the Romans, well, Jesus did it in the story, but that's what the Romans do. That's one of their rituals. That's their ceremonial practice, right? Then blowing the trumpets.
Go ahead, Mo.
When they come in blowing the trumpets, you see what's it called? It's like a wall. I think it's on the Temple of Jerusalem. It's in one of their temples where Titus is coming in and they got the trumpets in the back and he on the horse. That's part of Revelation and what Jesus was supposed to do. But he comes in riding on a donkey.
Yeah. And Josephus was the ones that Josephus wrote War of the Jews, and you know what I mean. So, and Josephus was a Jew that turned against the Jews and started writing for the Romans. Come on now, it's chess, not checkers.
And why did Josephus break off from his priesthood? Because he comes from a long line of priests. His father in him, he became a Pharisee, and his father remained a Sadducee. The Sadducee said until God shows up, like he did with Moses, and presents us with a new message, we're not adding anything to the book. The Pharisees, which was what Josephus was on the side of, they believed that, Moses wasn't even legit like that. Because God had to get rid of him before he even got to the promised land. So how are we not more special than him? God can speak to us and tell us the other things that Moses didn't tell us when he was on that mountain. So that gave them that whole inspiration. This is inspired by God because God can speak to us now through the Holy Spirit. So he started adding things to the text. Then what do you know? What happens later? Like you said, he ends up joining the same people who want to control what's written next in their text. He was the perfect candidate.
Yeah, the Romans is what gave us this narrative that we're all Roman control. Where is that book? I'm looking for my book.
And what does he say at the cave? What does he say when he's hiding in the cave? He gets rid of all his people. He makes his wives off themselves. His soldiers that were protecting him. It's called the Josephus problem. The dude was smart. He must have been a mathematician too because he tricked them all into. He said each man take a sword and stick it into the one next to you. And he did it in such a way to where he knew he would be the last one alive with only one person, so that he can survive. He hid in the cave for how many days? 3. He's in the cave for 3 days hiding, and the Flavians, where you get the Flavians, find him in the cave, and he comes out and he tells them, "Hey, I had a dream. The Lord spoke to me last night. We were wrong. You guys are the messiahs." And from there, that's when the Flavians took over the dynasty.
There you go. And look up, anybody, fact check us now, look the Flavians up. And look at the time period that they was living, and look at the time period when Jesus allegedly lived. And you can put 2 and 2 together. It's easy. Where is that? I just had this book, man. the book about Titus and all of that. Titus Flavian and his campaign in the Sea of Galilee. We would make fishermen. What would we say? We would make men out of
He said,
fishermen or
"Come." He
something like
said,
that.
"Come with me, and I will make you fishers of men."
Of
and
men.
Jesus
Bam.
said the same thing Titus said.
That's
the
right.
same exact thing.
In Matthew.
But what Titus was doing, he was chasing down the Jews, and they were swimming in the water, so they was shooting their spears at them. And they
Somebody
were
said
catching
Port
them
City
with
wrong.
spears.
Prove me wrong, man. Prove us wrong.
He said it was as if. He said it was. He said it was as if we
I'm
were.
looking down because Energy told me to look something up, and I should
He
have
said
had.
it.
It's hold on, Mo. It's the documentary In Search of Truth, Caesar's Messiah. I had this on my phone, and for some
Here we
reason
go.
it's not there. I had the MP3 that's on my phone, and now it's not there. So I don't know what the fuck happened. Now I don't know how it got
I'll
deleted.
send it to you again.
I'm gonna put it in MP3 format.
Yeah, this right here on page 52 of Caesar's Messiah, the Roman conspiracy to invent Jesus, right? It talks about the parallels between Titus and Jesus
Yep.
in the campaigns. It talks
What
about
book
that.
is that? The same book you showed us
this-
earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't
This
have
the-
the book.
You
But
got okay.
I had that on my phone in MP3, and for
I
some
got you.
reason it's not there in MP3.
But it says Jesus to start his ministries in Matthew chapter 4. It describes a battle with Titus in the War of the Jews that Josephus wrote. Sent by his father, Titus, he sent away his son, Titus. And then in Matthew chapter 3:17, sent by his father. All of the parallels are right here on the historical person Titus Flavian of the Romans and Jesus' story. How can they correlate like that, bar by bar? You know what I'm saying?
And then even when you go to the book of Acts, you see the people getting mad at Paul over this dude Titus. And it's like 17 verses with Paul trying to make the people trust Titus again. He's with me. You can trust him. He's only doing what I told him to do, like trying to get the attention away from him and to focus on Paul. So what was it? They never really make clear as to what Paul was lying about, because they called him a liar. And he says, if I'm lying, but I'm doing God's work, does it matter? What did you lie about, buddy? And then what did Titus do for the people not to trust him anymore?
You be fishers of the sea. That definitely, like Titus definitely said that, and that's in Matthew's.
Yep.
How can those two correlate?
He said it was as if we were fishing for men. Because they were catching the Jews while they were swimming, and that was Titus.
Exactly.
And then you had Jesus saying the same thing. He said, "Come with me, and I will make you fishers of men." And
Look
people assume that means that you're going to go spread the gospel and bring people into the faith. But it's a parallel. This is how excuse me. This is how the authors would put their signature in their works, because they did them anonymously. But this is how they put their signature.
It was dark humor within the Roman families. It was just that dark humor.
Yeah, my mom still believes, but I gave her a book, and the book is by Edward Dodge. I think it's by Edward Dodge, and he's talking about the mother goddesses from I think it was from Ice Age to something. And her pastor got this book, and he's basically teaching out of it to his congregation. What's up, Stinky?
Say that again, brother.
Vespasian.
Oh, yeah.
Vespasian even spits on somebody's face and heals their blindness. The same way, Flavian has a whole list of miracles he did.
I think I did hear that. I heard that one too. Yeah.
Let me look
So
this up.
they just put this Messiah character on, the Romans. That was the power and the control.
Yeah, the name of the book is A History of the Goddesses from the Ice Age to the Bible. That's the book that her pastor's teaching out of now.
I know they in there. Some people probably
She wants me to give her the name of the book that I got by Kenneth Humphreys. But I don't think she's ready for that.
Yeah, you got to build them slow up on the knowledge like that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to just smash that whole belief, but yeah, my dad don't listen to nothing about this stuff I gotta say, cause he wholeheartedly stuck in the book.
Yeah, a lot of family members in my family are the same way. My cousin, me and him argue all the time. He really stuck because we both grew up in church. My mom, I can't have a conversation like this with my mom. She the same way too. Y'all know how it is. But
I learned with a lot of people, like especially people in your family, if you just give them like, just give them a couple of jewels, just to make them think, because a lot of it is that they want to be the one who found it. I learned that real quick. I was like, okay, because when they come back, like I talked to my mother like 2 years ago, and she was like, oh yeah, the gods did come from Canaan, and came from older texts and all of this shit. But when she said she found it herself, I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna go into that part that I already told you this shit like 7 years ago.
yeah,
I'm glad they found it.
I'm
Some
glad
people,
you
it's just
found
their
it.
ego. They want to
Yeah,
find it themselves. That's why when I see people take my information up here, I be like, people come back to me and be like, hey, look, man, they copying you. That's good.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Put it out
good.
there.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna stop them because they
yeah,
telling the truth.
yeah, yeah. Repeat everything we say. And fact check us. Check everything that we say. Look up the Flavians. Look at their connection to the biblical text. Look at Josephus, Eusebius, a lot of those characters and stuff, and you'll have your answers there.
Yeah, they not ready
Oh,
for
and
that Eusebius
Eusebius.
shit. They is not.
Eusebius
Yeah,
made a hell of a confession. This dude said that he did everything in his power to eliminate any other version of Christianity besides theirs. That's a
mm-hmm,
confession.
mm-hmm,
That
yeah.
is a confession. Just
Everything else
popular
was
doesn't mean
alien.
correct.
Mm-hmm,
Just because it's popular and it survived, it doesn't mean it's correct. Just like people
yeah,
finding out the KJV ain't even accurate and the text behind it are forgeries. So they like, okay, you got rid of all of these things, now we're going to push this. But what were these other Christians? Who are they? What were they saying? Did they say Jesus was God? Did they say his name was Jesus? When you start digging into that, you start finding out exactly why they needed to get rid of it, because these people were aggressive. The other versions of Christianity they got rid of, those people were aggressive. They weren't sitting there turning the other cheek and letting people.
mm-hmm,
If they're mad, you got to use common sense. If these people were in a revolt because they were sick of paying taxes and tired of people coming and taking their women and taking their money, the money that they earned, they gave it to the church. They found out, or gave it to the temples or synagogues, and they found out the Romans would come and pick it up and then issue it back to them. They're circulating their money back to them. They're paying them with their own money that they're donating to the church. But the church or the temple is supposed to store the money in times of need.
mm-hmm.
That's what they're storing the money for, in case something happens, an emergency, famine, or whatever. Then the priest can come out and issue money out to people and give them go get things that they need in times of need. But they found out the Romans were taking it and then paying it back. They're like, hold on, we ain't about to sit here and keep on using this circulated money. We ain't even going nowhere. So that's one of the things that made them revolt. Now, if Jesus comes and tells you to turn the other cheek and to pay your taxes, he's telling you to let people rob you. That doesn't
Yeah,
make any sense.
yeah.
That's how you know his character is a plant. You're
Pay Caesar
revolting to
what
go
Caesar.
against it.
It says in the Bible, pay Caesar what is Caesar's. You know what I'm saying? Like it's telling you in there, pay Caesar's what Caesar's. You gotta pay Caesar first, straight up. That's Jesus telling you that in the Bible, yo.
Yep. And then the earliest mention, Papias, the earliest mention, this is what biblical scholars who are believers use. They say Papias was, he has 5 books that they went and looked at, and it says that he spoke to John. Papias says that he speaks to John in 60 AD. He's speaking to John, so it sounds like he's learning right under John. But when you dig into the sources to find out where this came from, Papias isn't saying anything. He only has fragments, corners, little letters and words. That's what's left of his works.
Little bits of information.
Right. It's Irenaeus and Eusebius from the 3rd and 4th century who are saying that they read the works of Papias. They don't have the works of Papias. It didn't even make it to the end of the Middle Ages. So
They
these
just
are
have a
people
tiny
making
little book.
claims. Yeah, they got little fragments, and that was, they had fragments back in the Middle Ages. They don't have anything now. They have nothing. All they have is Irenaeus's word and Eusebius' words. But here's the interesting,
And maybe
thing about,
Tacibius. I think Tacibius too might have mentioned.
yeah,
something.
he quotes him too.
Yeah.
But here's the interesting thing. They say that Papias said that Matthew wrote the gospel in Hebrew.
What?
They said he wrote it down in
He
Hebrew.
wrote it in Hebrew.
Yes.
That's insane to me, man.
He wrote it in Hebrew, and then they translated it. But Papias, when he got it and got it into the Greek form, they said they needed to make corrections to it because it had superstitions in it. So you corrected the word of God that Papias got directly from John because you said it had superstition in it? So people are changing the sources. They allegedly had a secondary source and then decided to edit it. So now you understand why Papias's work did not survive, because they didn't want it anyway.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
It
Who
was
the hell
filled with
was that?
superstition. They said it was filled with superstition and then gave us superstition. That's the irony of it.
No, we're not letting him up because he a believer. He don't bring. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, when you got heavy hitters like Port City Vibes, Mofax, and Patah up here, right? And Christian, she a heavy hitter because she can hold her own with anybody. Why are we gonna let a believer in when all they study is the book? Look, they all Patah, Mo, and Port City Vibes. They put up heavy hitting books with damaging information in there. So why would we let up somebody that just reads the book to try to go against or challenge their information? That don't make no sense.
Yeah, he could try it.
It doesn't make any sense. If y'all think I'm lying, look, because Port City Vibe, he was on Sonetta TV. So he's going up against the best of the best of the best. And these people are just reading the book thinking that they know, because they're going to say, you're not right because my Bible said so. You're not bringing no extracurricular activity to the conversation. You're just reading the book.
If your whole house is built up on the Bible, you have weak foundation. You know, it's not a strong foundation to stand on. And I mean, I was born into the Christian faith. I mean, I'm not gonna front and say my mom didn't take me to Sunday school and all that stuff. And I understand how hard it is to transition. I do, you know. But once you realize where the Bible come from and the people that put it together, and those same people enslaved your people, like I don't want no parts in it. What was the first thing? What was the first book handed to enslave folks off?
That Bible.
The Bible.
Yeah.
Hold on, I can't hear you. Can y'all hear?
Can y'all hear me?
Like, that's crazy. I'm sorry, y'all. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't.
Yeah, Mo, I got your mango water, bro. I got mango aloe vera. I want that mango juice.
Sip it slow.
My phone bugging.
I gotta hydrate myself. I mean, it's cool. They can try it, but at the end of the day, you're not getting past the people up on the platform with that book. If that's all you read.
Want to do that. You come up here.
But I will tell y'all this. The dude that I told y'all to follow yesterday, Young Rev 316, he might give us a run for our money, but I don't think he gonna be able to conquer us with the sword. He gonna have to take a couple daggers out his back.
He better come cry.
He has some talking points.
Oh, he very versed in the book. He know Roman history.
Right.
Hey,
What's up?
hey, but this Death Row though. This
Yeah,
Death Row.
yeah.
This Death Row.
Like, you don't only lose your career, you know, death row.
Right? You gonna lose your soul fucking around.
Yeah,
Welcome to Death Row Records.
if y'all want, y'all can follow Young Rev 316. If we get him up to 1,000, y'all see what I'm talking about. He not one of those conventional Christians though. Now I don't know if he believe in the Trinity because I ain't never asked him that. But I think he's one of those Pauline Christians. I do think that though.
Oh, and for Paul, hold on, let me see. I was trying to show y'all some other stuff that y'all should read side by side, but Paul, this shit right here is ridiculous. Operation Messiah. These are scholars from the military. They were trying
Operation
to investigate.
Messiah?
Yep, they're trying to investigate. The military wanted to know what was the earliest practices of COINTELPRO, double agents and triple agents, and what they found surprised them. Because I think one of their parents was studying it and had did a theory on it, a dissertation, but it didn't go too far because, of course, nobody's going to accept that Paul was an agent. So I think his daughter or his son took it to another level. And this author takes that work and takes it all the way and shows that this dude was an undercover agent. But they don't say it in a way where, like, they trying to force it. You come to the conclusion yourself when they present all the evidence to you. Because the amount of military backing he just mysteriously has out of nowhere that they cover up with God. They say, he got caught, the Jews was about to go upside his head, and then all of a sudden he gets out of the jam. Every single time he gets locked up, the chains break. He gets locked up inside of the cage, and the door unlocks. An earthquake happens that nobody documents. A great earthquake happens and unlocks his door, and he gets out. They beat him to death, and he's up preaching the next day.
They stoned that man. We had somebody challenge us on that shit, and we told them, because I didn't even know this. Mo said, at the end of the stoning, they would take a big boulder or a brick, and they would throw it on your head. So I didn't know that.
And look, and remember stoning, a lot of people don't understand what people mean when they say stoning. They dig a hole and put you in it up to your shoulders or your neck so you can't move. That's how they stone you. Because if I just catch you walking down the street and you headed to Damascus, we can't start stoning you like that. You could just run. Once you run like 10, 15 yards, we ain't going to be able to throw the stones accurately. So when they caught him and they say they stoned him, he is in the ground in a hole up to his shoulders and his neck. That's why you got to do research. When you hear things like that, you got to go look up what these terms are. When they say we stone him, what is the practice of stoning? It's putting them in the hole up to their shoulders and neck and then throwing the stones directly at their head. So this dude is preaching a sermon the next day after he got stoned. He ain't go to a physician. He ain't go get checked up, patched up, nothing. Your sound is out again, Port. You probably got to go down and come back up.
He on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn.
Hey, yeah, you're welcome to Death Row. Come get this work. Any of you biblical people out there that believe in the old or the new or both, any of you indigenous people,
come to Death Row Records.
You know what I'm saying? Come beat us up. You know
Dancing
what I mean?
in the videos, talking about y'all from America and all of that. Come to Death Row.
Bro, come on.
Please.
I might explain the terms and conditions 360. I might do it.
Yeah, we on our Suge Knight over here.
Yeah. Now remember, I'm not saying that this is just my personal belief. I think that you might have had some pockets of African people over here during the time that the indigenous people was over here. But to claim that
I think we all can agree.
Yeah, to claim that every indigenous person that's deeply melanated is these people, I don't believe that at all.
We don't believe you. You need more people. There is not enough evidence to hold a good case for it. Like, where is the kingdom ships at? Where's the kingdoms and No records, no history, none of that.
Nope.
You
Now
know.
y'all go back
Now
to what was it like November last year, Mo? Look at all the people that used to come to the live. Now look, it's December. They ain't showing up. Why? Because they ain't got no leg to stand on.
Right?
Look,
I'm gonna show you.
if Egypt was America, where's America's grandmother and great grandmother? Because that's what you can show with Egypt and Africa. You can show
Canada.
her
No,
great
they
grand.
gonna say it's South America, bro.
Some of them even say we gotta wait till the ice caps melt.
come on, people.
Yep. They do that.
When
The
these ice caps
Antarctica
melt,
shuffle.
Yo,
y'all gonna be looking stupid.
yo, yo.
Know some people coming this way.
Oh my god.
Third.
They say that, Mufasa. They say
the
that.
first.
Just
This
come to
man made
February,
a
y'all.
claim. He said that it was oxygen in America before any other continent, and you can go to what did he say? Scientific America. I got the receipts. Now y'all know me. I ain't never heard no indigenous person bring up Scientific America until after I said that's where I'm getting my information from. So I went read the article. And nowhere in the article did it say America was the first continent to get oxygen. So when
These
these
are some
people are
crazy
telling y'all they
claims.
got receipts, tell them to put the article behind like I did with mine. Y'all know when I give a live presentation, I'm putting the source behind me, and half the
Mm-hmm.
time I'm reading it on my new phone because it's too small for you to see it on this screen. So tell them to do that.
Because what you look like putting out information that you don't study and do research. What you look like then, right?
Right.
What do you look like when you just say anything out your mouth?
Viewing.
You know what I mean? Just to get the likes and the follows.
We doing
Like,
the
you look-
same thing. The
Yeah.
same
Mo,
thing that we're trying to
somebody's
stop.
asking where can they get the
We end up
books
doing
from?
the same shit. Which one?
The ones that you talking about.
We
What's
just
the
talked
site?
about a lot of books.
Most of my
Operational
books that I talked about,
Yeah,
you can get them on
read the
Amazon.
comments, Mo.
Yeah,
They're
Amazon.
asking
I got this from.
facts. They're asking for Mofax, but
Yeah, all these books is on Amazon. Every book we mentioned.
Yeah.
no,
You can, yeah.
your book, your actual book.
Oh, your
Oh,
book.
my book, UTU. Hold on, I'm gonna put it in the comments. You got a UT.
Let me.
The pre-order is out right now.
I got you.
And then dot.
He
Come on,
said,
support this man and get his book, y'all.
That's right.
y'all
Look, I give it
disrespecting
to.
your
I
own
give
people.
it
Truths, bro. Some people lie. Hold on, wait. But I
Is
got
that utter-
evidence. Okay, how are we disrespecting our own people?
Disrespect them.
Because I don't believe that the indigenous people that was over here are the black people.
How are we disrespecting our own people's truth? That stuff doesn't make any sense, bro.
Disrespectful.
The truth is the truth. People don't own the truth.
Man,
the truth
the
is
truth is like rain. It don't give a damn who it fall on.
See, look, Rashad,
Right.
it don't matter if they didn't look like us. You got deeply heavy melanated people in the Philippines, in China, in Japan, and in Australia. Are they us?
Nope.
That's what this is what you guys take just because somebody has dark skin. That there are people, and that's not true, bro.
Burnt feet. They must.
The earliest people in Europe were dark skinned people. Are they us? The Eskimos are deep. You got some deep melanated Eskimo people. Are they us?
Mm-hmm.
Javidian.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, everybody that got deep melanated skin, we can just claim as us.
No, we can't.
We are Niger Cotophonia. 73% Niger Cotophonia. If you're an African American, there's a 73% chance that you fall in that family.
We all do, but yes, you do, and we can't negate that.
Yeah.
You know, one of the earliest arguments that they used to have was that they was trying to prove these things through having the biggest rainforest, and then because they do have the biggest rainforest over in the West versus Africa, but that shit's created. They made that thing. It ain't that
Yeah.
big.
And the big, I don't mean to cut you off, brother. The rainforest that's in South America comes from West Africa. Because the geographical terrain of Africa changed over the course of time. But the same sands that lift up in the Sahara
Yep.
goes straight
Into
over
the Amazon forest.
into the Amazon forest. That's
Yep.
how the Amazon forest is existing to this day because of Africa.
Yep. I remember the earth speaks, and another dude told us no, and we pulled it up on the live, and then after we pulled it up, he said he was leaving. Because when you guys get checked, y'all leave. Y'all don't have nothing to stand on. Now, to go back to Rashad the poet, I'm not saying that you don't have records. I'm not saying that the people that we call indigenous didn't come here from somewhere else. Because everybody came to America from somewhere else. But the claim that a lot of indigenous people are saying is that human civilization and the Bible started here in America.
Totally false.
With no facts
No
to back up
facts.
the claims.
None.
Like, you just can't say that.
Now, when we talk about the
it's like you
Moors,
stole a car. I got a new car. Where you get the car from? Well, I can't tell you where I got the car from. I just got the car. Come on, man. We need to know. Show us your car keys, you thieving. You know what I mean?
now
They
when
start throwing insults.
y'all
Right.
go and look
We
up
need to see the car keys.
the what is it, the Morris Fez, where does the Morris Fez come from? Because Rashad, you follow a lot of the Morris practices and teachings. So that Morris Fez comes from where? It comes from Sumeria and Mongolia. The same people you're saying stole your identity and your culture and your civilization. Why are you wearing their stuff on your head? Because that's where it comes from.
That's their shit. That's their regalia.
People like to play dress up, man. That's what it is. They like to wear costumes and fake. It's like that fake Nautica shirt that somebody got on in the lunchroom, and you pop the tag on the back like, look, bro, this ain't the real. Y'all remember? Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
had
saying? And everybody got all their shit on, and somebody like, hold up, there's
I had
a
a
fake.
top-notch shirt, bro.
Right.
I had a top-notch.
To be like, yo, I gotta see the back of your tag.
I had a top-notch shirt, and they pulled the back of my tag, and it said "Fruit of the Loom."
Yo.
Everybody know how they
That
feel
motherfucker
when you got a fake ass polo on, or a fake ass Tommy
We was
Hilfiger on,
we
or a
was at the
fake-ass
flea
Nautica.
market. We was at the flea market buying all this shit.
customizing it.
You could have sworn it was the real
I felt
too.
good when I went to school. Yes, pretty.
Like, I know I got the real
Monkey
on.
said somebody picked
Here's
him up.
another thing. So we got at 3.3 million years, you have stone tools being used in Africa. Guess how old the stone tools that they use are over here?
60,000 years old, maybe.
Oldest one they got is 4,000.
Right. Okay. Have you heard about the site in
okay,
South
I'll look
Carolina
for
that they found some stone tools over there
Yeah,
not too long ago?
I heard about it.
Okay.
I ain't hear about that.
Yeah, look that up, family. They have found some stone tools in South Carolina that might have been around 50,000 years. I'll give you that.
40 to 60. Yeah, they got
Right. I'll give you that.
Either way, yeah.
But
And
where they come from?
I've seen some at 13,000 years. They can have that. And then you said what's the oldest? You said 50.
Yeah.
40.
The oldest, yeah.
Give them 100,000 years.
You can have 100.
Match with 3.3 million
Million.
years of a stone
Look, you
tool.
can give them a million years here.
3 point and what was it? It was Indigo. Indigo gave us some of those jewels, so that 3.3 million.
And you got eggshells with designs on them in South Africa that's older than that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Eggshells.
Yeah, that's what Vivanta taught us about that. Those eggshells. And then you got okra. That's the way I guess you pronounce it. Look into the African okra.
Okra.
See, people have a misunderstanding of how old we are. We are the senior branch of the human race. We come from the senior branch of the human race. And it's hard to believe that we existed outside of the biblical text, long before it even was thought about.
Right. We the rum. We the rum of the earth.
Hmm.
Rum, you mean us? That dark, that soot that come out of it. We the rum.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
And
When you
That's
get
say
right.
peep,
oak
peep,
rum,
peep this
say
though, Pata.
the raw oak rum. The raw oak rum is a red that they put on their face over there in Africa.
Right now,
Find that over here.
Vanta at work, he get off at 7, and he won't be home until 8. This is what the indigenous community is claiming now, that America is Atlantis. Well, you got people right now that are studying the Sahara Desert, and they're saying that Atlantis, the city of Atlantis, might have been in the Sahara Desert because the correlations of the city is matching the circle material and the way that the land mass is shaped in the Sahara Desert right now. So who
That's
am I
not my first
supposed to
time hearing
believe?
that.
The indigenous people or the people that are studying the Sahara Desert?
Yeah, and people don't understand. Everybody think that the Sahara Desert is just this desert that's just been a desert forever, and there wasn't no life in there. They're finding fish bones in the desert because there was a Lake Chad, Lake Mega Chad was in the
25,000
middle.
years, I think that's when it started drying up.
Right. You had a whole, and that's how they got. That's why they say sub-Saharan African. That's why they try to put that on us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we were all over Africa.
The sub is a secondary group. That's what they try to do.
That's what they're trying to say.
Look, the same sands that they find in the sub-Saharans, they find in the Bermuda Triangle. Same sand.
Hmm. Hmm. People don't give credit. Like we are old people. I just talked about not too long ago about the ghost gene that they found in West Africa that we some of us got. There's a gene that broke off before the Neanderthals and before the Denisovians. So West Africans are probably what broke off the first, like was the first to establish genetic dominance in the human gene pool. You know what I'm saying? Because and then we were a lot of agricultural and stuff kind of pushed over there. That's why they kidnapped us because we had things popping over there. They wasn't doing it in Europe. Europe is a barren land
Yep.
as opposed to Africa and how Africa was and still is to this day with the mineral resources that we got down there.
Jewel,
Right.
you need to go live, bro.
Huh?
Talking to Jewel in the comments.
Okay.
So it'll be tearing their ass up.
Look, this new DNA that they saying that they find in Africa as well. They saying that this can go back even as far as the before you put the sapien and Homo, just to the Homo itself.
Mm.
Word.
Yeah. So there's stuff that still hasn't been discovered yet. Now we might can't find bones as much as you used to, especially in Africa, but they're finding DNA that's different because when they did these DNA genetic tests, they try to line them up with what we have, and they was like, hold up, this is a different hominid. We haven't seen this before in West Africa. What's
Right?
going
So
on?
I tell people it's multiple layers of human
Right.
history in Africa.
Yeah,
Multiple layers.
multiple layers. You know,
Yeah,
and
this is what Venter was talking about when he said that there's an early group that did mix with Neanderthals. This is the ghost DNA that they talking about.
not the West African DNA. I don't think though.
Yeah,
No, so
that's what's
the
in that's what's in their article. When they speak
the,
about the ghost DNA, it's in there.
Okay.
the ghost DNA is supposedly from a hominoid that they don't know. So it's not Neanderthal, Dystovian, it's not Erectus. It's something that they don't know. So that's why they call it the ghost.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it too. Yeah,
No,
like
no,
they don't have they don't.
I'm not saying it's Neanderthal. I'm saying it could have been. They saying it could have been one of the earliest around that could have made it with the Neanderthal.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. Because at that time period, people don't understand you had different types of hominids existing at the same time. You know, you had the Denisovians and I think the Neanderthals and the Homo sapiens. There was a certain time period where you had a multiple array of hominid living on Earth.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So the ghost DNA, it's just one that they don't know what type of hominoid it was. And
Correct.
it could have, just like Pata said, maybe it could have mixed with the Neanderthal and that created what we know of Neanderthal. So it's an older genetic pattern that we don't have evidence for.
Right, right.
And what
Now
I
that
don't
particular
understand,
variant is older than that is older than the Neanderthals, though. I want people to know that that gene variant started 100,000 years before the Neanderthals too.
and look, what I don't understand about these people who believe that there was multiple creations all around the world, making them, indigenous to this land because somebody, changed their DNA. Because most of them believe that some aliens came down and changed the DNA, and that's why we have all of these different types of people all around the world. So what I don't get is why don't they just stand on the foundation of what science is saying, and then from there say, well, the reason why these things changed is because somebody did it manually. It didn't happen automatically. They would have a better argument.
Yeah.
They just trying to go just straight from dirt,
They
from
want to just be
nothingness, and just say
right
something
from
appeared here.
nothingness, and we've been here
At
all
least,
along.
yeah, because if they already saying they don't know what happened, they don't know how it happened, then that's where you insert your theory, and now you got more to stand on. But they just don't. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they don't like doing research, if they don't have the time, or if they just looking for a superhero. I don't know what's going on, but they just refuse to take, because you can build off of anybody's information and then insert your theory anywhere. To start off from scratch out of nowhere, nobody's going to trust what you're saying, but people who do not study and people who are just looking for somebody to follow. And that's not what this should be about, especially for the black community. We already used to just believing what people say. So if we're leaving from these lies and we pick up another lie, we should have stayed where the fuck we was at. You just giving me another lie.
Yeah, I'm not gonna follow you until you tell me where we going. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna get lost with you, and you ain't gonna tell me the directions of where we need to
Y'all,
go.
thank you
I
for
need
the
the map.
gifts.
I need the coordinates. I need that GPS. How to get there?
Why? Why we're
Why?
going here? Why is this important? Like when I ask people about the flat Earth and around Earth and everything, both sides be making some good points. But why? Why is this important? When we got other shit to worry about, why is it important that I accept this? What is it going to change in my day-to-day life? I still know how to get home. They say the compass is actually flipped this way and that way. I still can get home though. It don't matter if you make north, south, east, west, whatever. I can still get home by going the wrong way because this is what we have accepted. We accepted that to go east is this way. Now, if we dealing with something, if we're outside the earth and we're trying to have directions to get back to the earth, and then there's a specific compass that you have to use, then we'll have a problem. But as for now, the system works. If you can get your ass back home using your GPS, what the hell are you sitting here trying to get young people especially to believe that they east is west? They go, you riding in circles, can't even get home because you don't want to listen to your GPS. Take your ass to the goddamn house, man.
Earth is flat. That's crazy.
And I ask them, I say, okay, let's say I accept that it's flat. Now what? Then they get quiet.
Where do we go from here?
What the fuck
What
happened?
do we do with this important information that we just collected? Yo,
The
I
best
think
argument
knowledge
I've
of
heard.
self is way.
You went out, Port.
Hey,
We'll be back.
Mo, have you ever heard of biostatistical studies?
Yeah.
Hey, that's what they need to get into because this way you see how things adapt and how they won't adapt. This is where they get this study from. When they talk about adaptation and all that.
Yup. Epigenetics.
Yeah.
Stones.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. How some people got that vein. If you ball like what is it? Your ring finger and your middle finger. If you take it and put it down like you're doing the Spider-Man hand or whatever, you'll see like this tendon pop up in your arm. Some people have it and some people don't. It's because you go back to people, and if you do your tracing back, you probably were connected to tribes who were climbing trees and probably still be climbing trees a lot.
What up,
so
bud?
that tendon would stick up more. You see what I'm saying? That's why you got some people who are good at climbing trees, and then some people, when you were younger, you like, man, this dude can't do it. How come you can't climb the tree? Just grab a hold of it, because you have these tendons in your arms that help contract the muscle even more so you can grip the tree and climb up. And some people don't have that. When you come from a people who don't do that, maybe they were jumping in water to go get their food, maybe their fruit was falling down, they didn't have to climb the tree, that tendon is not elevated. It's not protruding out. So that leads back to epigenetics. Certain things turn on and certain things turn off depending on what challenges you're met with in your life. These are facts. What happened? happened to Port?
He probably come. Did Mama text or did she call? She called. No, she did. She called. She did call, and you didn't give me my phone, little boy. Go.
Yo, and let's not get it twisted. Biostatistical studies, they're a good thing. If you look into them, you'll see where a lot of stuff derived from, how they come to these conclusions, where they get what do they call that? Intelligent design.
Yeah, and some things you can see by being black and what you've already learned about yourself. You don't have to accept everything they say. You'll know, like, okay, they probably talking about them with that. When they start talking about the sun and the sun does this and they messed up the DNA, you be like, okay, well, that ain't me. That's probably you. You talking about yourself. So you can think for yourself as you reading and stuff.
Yeah, let me say
You gotta
something real
learn.
quick. All the females in the chat, y'all go follow my wife, Pink Butterfly 27.
Hey, why, Pop?
Yeah, she only got like 187 followers.
Shout out to the wifey.
I don't know if she's still in here.
Welcome to Death Row Records family.
Yeah. So when y'all tired,
Dancing in the videos, all in the interviews. We gonna give you this work.
This is the shit that make my day feel good, because I get to go over some stuff, make it fresh in my mind again. They don't understand.
Man, I love it. Don't it feel good, you know?
This whole time oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say this whole time I've been wearing me out. I haven't been able to say much, but I just wanted to go back to the point of like, with all these claims, what's gonna happen? So if you're the real indigenous, like, what power are you gonna have from being that in all these other claims?
That's a good question. You know, most people don't want to accept facts, and they go with their feelings, and no one's studying this stuff. It's a shame.
Oh, I can do a book list, but I'm like organized the way I do. I don't want to just give you a bunch of random books just because I got them right here, and these are the ones I'm reading.
We
I
should
would
just come
rather
back.
you give me a topic of what you want to study, and then I could send you a nice little care package to your email. Because I got thousands of books on my computer.
no,
But I
there she
learned my
go,
lesson when I
y'all.
lost my hard
Y'all
drive
go follow
that you
her
gotta
real
have
quick.
physical copies.
Y'all go follow Pink Butterfly 27. Yeah, if y'all got any information on the book that you need, just hit Mo up. Mo hook you up.
You know,
Oh, I'm not
I
following you. Okay, hold on. I just followed you, so go ahead and send me the topic you want, and I'll send you all the books on it.
want them to start dating some of that. Date.
Say that again, Pata.
I said I want them to start dating that shit. God, give me the name. Like,
We need chronology.
I'm saying I want to fight the person. I want to fight the author, not you. Give it to me. They getting downloads and shit.
I even
We
got
be
that
citing
book.
their sources for them.
Yeah. Like, bro, you need to go read this,
What you
bro.
say?
I said we be citing their sources for them, and they don't even know who the hell we talking about.
You're like, who? How I know about this dude? You know.
They be like, I don't know. You know this dude? I don't know who that is, but I got my shit from the Akashic Records. Where the hell? How do I get to that library?
Or they be like,
Tell me
oh,
what that
the
is.
biblical scholars agree. I'm like, okay, what biblical scholars? Oh, just the biblical scholars. Like, no, we need a name, bro.
Yeah, we need a name so we can go right back and check it
Yeah,
out.
Robert Price hit me up today, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. I asked him a question a long time ago when we was on that Mithrius stuff. He just now responded.
Bet. He got to redeem himself anyway with that weird shit he
Right?
was talking about. He better give us some black people. But he called us gorillas or some shit.
I ain't seen the full interview.
Yeah, when I clicked on it, they said it's not available no more. So somebody must have took it. He got him to take it down or something. But you know that dude, Myth Vision ain't gonna lie, cause that was one of his favorite people.
Yeah.
So when he came out and said that shit, I was like, dang, that gotta be true.
I think that happened on what is his name? Damn, I forgot the name of it.
Was that the agnostic dude?
Yeah. Gnostic informant.
Gnostic informant, yeah.
Hold on, bro. I'm about to bring you back up. Yeah, look, if y'all want any information on some books, y'all gotta hit up Port City Vibes, Patah, and Mo. Cause I think Port City got a lot of books on his bio. Mo, don't you got books on your bio too?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it back up. I got the I'm gonna update the archive and then put it back in my bio.
Yeah.
I took it down for a second. Huh?
Yeah, check the
Not
bio
16
out
feet,
where it
so
says
you'd be a
books, and there's
giant.
a bunch of them up there. I gotta make
You're
another
16
list
feet,
too
you'll be a giant.
for the books, man.
Yeah.
That's where it starts at.
Yeah, y'all get that information and that knowledge, and when y'all go live and they come to y'all live, y'all can give them that work too. But when they
Mm-hmm.
come up there, just be like, hey, just remember, man, you just stepped in the death row.
Yeah, you in Death Row Records right now. Gonna give you that work. Another good book. Can y'all hear me, man? I think I'm
Yeah, we
having
hear you.
problems. Okay, cool. I know y'all heard about When We Rule.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah,
ain't
that's a
got
good
that
one too.
book.
Hmm.
You even got some, and I'm not suggesting nobody to them, but they got some white writers out there who wrote this stuff already. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I got a couple of book. I like one of them is Black Genesis. This is a really good book.
Yeah. You got
Yeah.
you got Gardner, you got people out there who actually did this stuff, but we just have elders who went and did behind the scenes. So
Right.
Nick,
wrong
got a move to make. About to drop up out of here. I got another move to make, man. I appreciate everything y'all taught me tonight, though. For real.
facts.
Yeah,
This
brother. I'ma follow you, brother. All right, man.
Yes, sir. I follow all of y'all. I'm getting all y'all links in y'all bios, and I follow Butterfly, too. So I can get the book from her. And I'm going to tune in on the next live, though.
Respect, fam.
She in the chat, y'all. Nurse Betty, she's in the chat. She just commented. Oh shit.
Yeah, one of my studies right now that I'm dealing with is the association between environmental exposure and health outcomes. Like, how the environment can affect your health. And if it affects your health, it's a possibility that it can affect your DNA. So now you have something else coming along in the environment, something new. People think of evolution in the worst way, but there are ways where we adapt to certain environments.
Mm-hmm.
I 100% agree with that one. Yeah. There is a correlation in environment, and we definitely changed by the environment.
Yeah.
All right.
You got one of the statistical studies professor, name is Haggerty. You write great work. Not like I said, I'm not gonna be just spitting his shit. I'm making sure I do the research on it. So check him out. Haggerty is
Spell it again.
HEAGERTY. You know, you gotta do is put in biotistical
Environment.
professor, and he'll pop up. Put his name and he'll pop up.
Okay, gotcha.
People don't think the environment will affect you in a way where it will cause genetical change.
They should already know that though.
These dudes is straight out. Like when they say evolution is not real, but you have to tell me what part you saying is not real. You gonna say this is about mosquitoes and they exist way over here, and they exist. You can't do that for everything now. You know what I'm saying? They be trying to do it with none of it is real. Hold on, man. Can't give me the I know we ain't no platypus, and we ain't no amoeba, but you ain't gonna make none of this shit.
Just like the Ice Age, man. The Ice Age had a genetic effect on the Africans that might have early migrated out of Africa.
Right.
You know, you have genetical changes, and it changes who you are. And then, you know, like the foods that was eaten in Africa aren't the same foods that are eaten outside of Africa, and you change under those conditions. You know.
That's right. And to get some of that information, you got a scholar, one of our greats, is Dr. Claude Anderson. He got the blueprint for Black Power. He got that written in there. He goes all through that. He take us through that journey.
Mm-hmm. Powernomics too, right?
Powernomics, yeah. And he can do it in there, yeah, because he has to do it in there to show you where we losing the power and how we get it back. You know how he do his books, everything correlated.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Claude Anderson.
Yeah, he's got some really good stuff too. I like him.
Man, he on videos right now crying his eyes out, man. He hurt, and I be hurt right with him, like, damn.
Yeah, because he's been trying for years to try to, awaken everybody, and it kind of, I guess, it gets upsetting sometimes to be doing that all this your life, and people ain't waking up.
Who just dropped out?
That's where
boom.
That's where I get the idea to talk about group economics, also about communal living. That's where it comes from. Him. I didn't know he was on the internet crying and stuff.
He pouring out his heart.
Yeah.
He said, I'm out of here. Like, I ain't got too much longer, y'all.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell y'all.
Who y'all talking about?
Claude Anderson.
Yeah.
Another one, rest in peace, Amos Wilson.
That's the book right there, bro.
Yeah, Amos Wilson. Yeah.
The Blueprint to Black Power. Hey, y'all gotta get that book.
That's a good book. Now that talks about how we need to be economically speaking and how we can put this thing together, right?
And the beautiful thing is when you know you read it, because the elders let you know when something need to be updated, and we have updated it in the community that I'm in to where it's solid. That's a real blueprint. The blueprint for real, and you got to utilize it the way you can. It fits any world. It fits your relationship. It fits everything.
Yep. And I like because he talks about individual consciousness and group consciousness.
Collective consciousness.
And that's what we lost. We lost our connective consciousness. And that's an unstoppable force if we can all regain that.
Right.
But yeah, this is a really good book. This is a really good one.
Look, we can't leave out for when stuff start making you feel down while you reading. We can't leave out sisters like the great Frances Cress Wellesley. She pick you back up, put that muscle back in your back.
Yeah.
Deal with
all day. Yeah.
But some of this drag you. Might need some Khalid Muhammad. You might need some Malcolm X in there to give you that pushback.
Just to give you that oomph. You might need that oomph.
All of the great elders always speak of this collective consciousness. It ain't us that got to unify. We must unify in consciousness.
The consciousness together, and that's where it starts. He also talks about how that's another book I had that he had too, man. But it's all about group consciousness and how we're supposed to think as a group, and never forgetting your African integrity.
Yeah, they forgot that shit. Them indigenous.
You know what I'm saying?
Community.
And once we got to keep our African integrity, And that's our problem. If we don't connect ourselves with Africa, it's like that brother said a while back that was from Africa. And he was like, Africa is our home. We gotta keep that connection back. And once we know our home, we can grow collectively and have a collective mindset on what to do and make plans. Because right now we're just a nation within a nation. This ain't us. This ain't our nation. You know what I mean? Like, we still a group of people trying to figure out stuff for ourselves. When the world is starting to already move on and stuff like that. And you got to remember your African self. That's one thing about Amos. He was really good on that. Um, Knowing self and not forgetting not losing your African mind. That's what he would say all the time. You done lost your African mind.
Right, out your African mind.
You know what I mean? You done lost your African mind. And it's true. And that's where we find ourselves today when we miseducate ourselves, when we don't have, when we're historically illiterate to any knowledge that's out there, and we just take one book and it's hard for me to understand that we were enslaved. Books were taken away from us. We couldn't read anything. But they just give you a book. They give you a book in the slave, right off the boat, they give us books. Read this, young Negro. And if you work hard on the plantation, you might get to heaven.
You know what?
You know what I mean?
And
they give you books in the Bible too. The only you get a book in the Bible. I'm sorry, you get a book in jail when you go to prison. Remember how they used to do that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they trying to put you somewhere. It's like it's all in the mind. I didn't mean to cut you off, brother. Go ahead.
Nah, you good. I was just going to say, Baba Clark used to say that in his joints. So he has a video. If y'all just head to YouTube, because the elders is the one that let me know that my gripe with you is that some of the doctrines that are being followed, they hate me in the doctrine. So it's not you, it's in the doctrine. And where you can find an easy tale and a story is a YouTube video. You just look up The Great and Mighty Walk by Dr. Clark.
Ooh, anytime you say Dr. Clark,
yeah, it's gonna
be
about
that.
2 hours, but when you look,
yeah, it's worth that.
He's gonna be naming off so many names and so many regions through Africa. He done been through every part of.
You know what? I think I might have saw that.
Yeah.
Yes, it's old, but it's a classic.
It's a classic.
Man,
if anybody got any time when y'all at work, like if you got Bluetooth, just plug your phone up at work and just watch it or listen to it while you at work.
Yo, I be at work, man, and of course, I work with some colonizers, right? I be plugging in my phone, man, and the whole time I'm listening to stuff like that, yo, straight up. Keeps me grounded.
Once you listen to it, it's gonna be a regular for you. So when you hear me say things like, "I only debate my equals," or because like I gotta keep listening to him. You know why? Because I want to be smooth and debonair with this. I want to be disrespectful all the time. I want to get that class that they got something different.
That's it.
And I want to reach that. And it takes your elders around to tell you and big you up. Yo, you making it. And I love it.
Don't get mad. Don't get mad. Get smart.
Get smart. Exactly. You know what I mean? You tell me what you haven't read.
That's my favorite quote, man. I only debate my equals. All others I teach.
No, I can't say that no more, bro, because I like to smoke.
No, every now and then you got, it's good to sharpen up.
It's because we're in a classroom. You get what I'm saying? We're making examples of these people. They think they coming up just having a conversation with one person because they in their ego and they forget they sitting in front of 107 people. That's what be happening to them. So we make examples out of them and use them as a teaching tool.
Yep.
And they don't
come to the front of the class.
Right.
Yeah. Put this problem up here. Give it a chart. You put this up there. Tell us how you got that answer.
Since you back there running your mouth.
Yeah. Tell us how you got the answer. Show us.
See your work on paper. We can't see your work. You can't prove.
A lot of them don't like to be challenged because they don't want to be proven wrong.
Yeah.
I've noticed that.
The ones that I disagree with so much that it really put me in a bad state. The one that feel like that they can't have a discussion with one of the guards, one of the women, and without saying, "Oh, I can't argue with a woman." Why are you assuming the guards is arguing? Or why are you assuming that you can't have a dialogue? That shit burns me up.
They're afraid. They're afraid. They're afraid of women with minds. You know what I'm saying? That think for themselves.
That's the first thing they do. That's biblical. You running your biblical garbage. Because I know
Right.
some sisters that eat
It
Francis
was
Cress
it was a
Welsey.
female that said that.
Oh yeah, that happened. A female said it, but I think the reason why they do that is because they're trying to impress you guys too, or to see where you guys stand on speaking with women too. Like a lot of things that they say to you guys, they're testing you out for your mindset to know what they can say and how they can say something.
Well, everybody that's been following me from the jump already know how I feel. If you come in here disrespecting a black woman and she ain't disrespect you back, I feel sorry for you because we gonna get on you.
Right. We ain't gonna throw you out first. We gonna get on you. That's what I told him. You got the homie Sarah Susan said he said it's gonna come a day when you disrespect that black woman and them little young boys gonna look back at you like are you crazy?
Mm-hmm.
And on y'all, you gonna do it
Yeah.
on. It's getting there. It's getting there.
You can't disrespect black women, man. That's just a no-go in my corner. I got a black mama. I got a black sister. You know what I'm saying? And you just can't do that. Yeah, women, we gotta
There's
respect our
only
black
one black
sisters.
female on here that I get into it with, and she left alive. So
But y'all allowed to do that because you can debate.
yeah, it's a
Yeah,
different. It's a difference when you debate and then they start talking trash because they in their feelings.
the subject matters that we talk about, it's not a man or woman thing. It's just, do you have the information or not? So if you automatically assume that you're going to talk to me and tell me Jesus is God and stuff, and I won't have any history behind Christianity just because I'm a woman, then you already lost.
I done seen plenty of sisters debate, and if you think you're gonna be able to use that as an excuse, you're gonna fucking lose.
Right.
You already lost. Yeah.
Out the gate. Look, Frances Cress Welsey, she got one of the interviews where she got the beautiful red, black, and green sweater on, and she debating the dude. I forgot his name, but they're dealing with genetics, and he talking about like with
Oh yeah,
genetics.
that's old school, bro. That's a
And
classic too.
she just mushed his whole face up,
Right?
just with the words so
You gonna
elegant.
eat the cake?
He should have been on the T-shirt right after that. No lie, it was over. His whole career was just done. You never heard him again until now. People don't realize they're using his works.
And Francis bodied him years ago.
Mm-hmm.
People don't study.
70s, I think it was. No lie.
Mm-hmm.
Bodied him.
Man, the stuff we're saying, you can look it up. You can fact check it. We got book sources for you, articles. I mean, this stuff ain't hard to find if you just open up and just commit yourself to the knowledge and try to learn it and study it. A lot of people, you get handed one book in your life, the Bible, and that's all you know.
Look, when you say red rum, I'm talking about those things that go pum pum. So just think of the red rum, right? And you see the nose for the red rum, that would be the phallus. And then the handle part would be the sac, and then the things that actually come out of the red rum, those would be the sperm cells. Frances Cress Welsey does such a beautiful job with showing you how these people saw us, our phallus, as a red rum, and they created them, which was the weapons. That's the only way they could beat us. She did this so beautifully. And if you check that interview out about her doing that, where she take that thing and show you like that's what you use to unalive each other, and that's what they created because they knew that you could unalive them with yours.
Is that like is that her genetic annihilation?
Genetic annihilation.
That she's talking about? Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
She got about 5 of them because she did them as she was starting to get older. She was still doing them. On the chalkboard, draw it out for you and all that. Yeah, that's it. Genetic annihilation.
I got
And then
it.
you start.
Artist, I got this screen recorded, so I'm gonna throw it up on the YouTube. So every book that they were talking about, you're gonna be able to pause and write it down.
Man, I ain't know you on YouTube. I gotta follow you on YouTube, bro.
It's just my live. Every live that I do, I
think
put
I'm
on the
following you.
YouTube.
If I'm not, I'm gonna follow you right now so you'll know it's me.
Yeah. Yeah, follow me too. I'll follow you back, brother.
Her name is Frances Quest Wilson.
Yeah, she's good one. Francis Cress, well seen. Genetic annihilation. Yeah, she goes in real hard with that.
And she got a few lectures up. She don't pull
Yup.
no punches either.
Yeah, and
None.
that's the thing. These awesome people put in the work years ago, and they started what we're trying to pick up the ball and run with today. So it's disheartening to have all of this information out that you can just grab it and find it, but you still got people not believing that they're from Africa, or they don't believe that Africa had anything to do with civilization at all. It's just it's just a sad day in 2023, damn near, that you find that. But I think majority of us are starting to recognize the knowledge itself, and it starts with the individual at first.
Nah, what it Pata and the artist, what it was I start screen recording. I got an hour and 40 minutes of screen recording. So
Say less.
even if TikTok banned it, because when people get banned, they won't let you download it. I still got an hour and 40 minutes of the screen recording.
Say less. YouTube, here it come. Pay attention, y'all.
Welcome to Death Row Records.
Make
Yeah.
some of it, put it on TikTok, and put the rest over to YouTube.
Okay, go
Yeah, because they be trying to yank people's stuff all the time. I had a couple of things yanked
Come
where I
to
had to do
I
a
put up,
whole YouTube too.
I put up
Where you teach your
every
sister?
other day. They take everything down.
You gotta
Everything.
stop. Go on.
Sometimes I just put pictures up with some music, and they'll just still snatch that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Gotta
posted
go
a
with what
YouTube.
somebody
I posted a TikTok of a rap battle, and they muted the sound.
they're off the hook.
Ain't funny.
They do that with a lot of my content because I post like historical stuff, or I share like rap music that I think is inspirational sometimes, and they'll mute all that stuff. They don't be saying nothing bad.
We know what that shit is.
Yeah, the algorithm don't like black folks. I ain't gonna say that because a lot of people stuff get yanked, but it seems like our content get yanked a whole lot sometimes.
Right.
And go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I see like sometimes on my For You page randomly like YT people stuff comes up, and like that goes to the N word. They just do random stuff, and unless like a whole bunch of us super report it, like it stays up. So I don't. It's just it's too much because the way that we're spreading these messages, it needs to be known. We gotta fight pseudoscientists, white supremacy. What we gotta fight from all different angles, and the people that are doing how we're doing, we're getting our stuff taken down like crazy. My account stays on ban warning. I'm surprised
Hmm.
I have it.
Yeah, I still got a warning on mine. Like you can go in anything. Like I made a post one time about the early migration, the human migration, right, out of Africa. I talked about how we all was once dark melanated, and I talked about how the environment has an effect on your skin tone. I talked about the actual gene mutation that makes light skin, and my thing got yanked. Like I've been caught heat ever since that.
But
Like where they
we
just
got a girl on here, and she teaches that, and she ain't get banned, or they ain't get no account warning.
yeah. So see,
So
yeah. So it just depends.
this is
Some
you
people,
guys do.
Let me tell you guys the honest truth that the people who come to debate us, some of them are organized, some of them are big creators, some of them, so they'll be the cause of people
hmm
and stuff
hmm
like that.
hmm
That YT lady getting on, she be spreading nothing but facts about evolution out of Africa. She be having like thousands of people watching her lives just talking about Homo erectus.
Who you talking
If we
about?
did the same thing, the lady, the
Weeda?
YT lady, Yeah. So if we got on here to do the same thing, we would all be blocked and banned because it be from within. It don't be all the way
Yeah,
from,
she changed her shit
out.
to subscribers only now.
Yeah,
Is she
I've
smart?
Look, check this out. When you go into your profile, right? Tap on your following and type in truth seekers. And when you type that shit in, I guarantee you, especially if you got a big following, at least 3 to 4% of it they're gonna be in there. You got to get them out of there. That's what's
Okay.
holding the channel back. Truth seekers.
Yeah,
I just
let me
removed.
address this real quick, Patah. Yeah, the one with Martin Luther King on my YouTube, Patah went into some information that I don't think TikTok or not even not TikTok, YouTube, that YouTube wants out, because when I played that video back on my phone, I hear everything that he's saying, and when I posted that video on YouTube, it cuts out the stuff that he's saying. So I think YouTube don't want the information that he's saying on that live to
Damn.
be played on the YouTube.
Hell,
In here.
You remember when you were talking about who was we talking about? You were
we done
talking
been
about
so much.
it was the one with the I got Martin Luther King in the background. And we were talking about the Martin Luther King. We were talking about the what is that? The Undisputed whatchamacallit that they got out. The DVD, and then you were talking about how when certain people enter certain societies, like when they get the knowledge, they in too deep and they can't get out of it.
Right. Yeah, but let's leave it where it is, though, because we don't want.
Right.
the streets is
My
watching, fam.
my
The streets
my
is watching.
my
Right.
next video. My next video. But live banana will be probably for like 2 months. So let's change the subject. While I'm not even talking,
Look,
I'll be getting
so
on
much
it.
I put out, so much already edited. I know I can't. I can't even put it on YouTube, so I know I can't put it
Bro,
on.
Malcolm X was Mama's not here. Why y'all following each other? These kids.
What does that have to do with anything? We're not talking about Islam, but if you want me to talk about Islam, I can help. No, we're not going to
Go.
talk about it. No, we're not. We're not going to do it.
Nah, cause they gonna be
Right.
like, you're a
Put
killer,
that.
been banned.
We done already sent out those ships. You ain't running to them battleships
Yeah,
out there yet?
if you wanna talk to us about Islam, come to the Bigo app.
Welcome to
They,
Death Row Records.
they not used to them daggers. The death row chains too heavy for their
Welcome
neck.
to Death Row, baby.
Look,
Come to
somebody
Death
take
Row.
all the ones that's watching outside gonna send them a DM like, yo, don't do it.
Please come to Death Row.
They're not ready for that. Oh, Patal wanted to contact you. I keep forgetting, bro. How much do it cost to make a hoodie?
For me to make a hoodie for you?
Yeah.
Nothing. Just make that. Just pay for the hoodie. What kind of hoodie you want?
I don't know. I need probably 3X.
I send you the invoice.
Cause I wanna put the logo on it.
All right, I got you. Send me the logo so I can get that format.
All right.
I do that shit. I've been cutting up for about 3 days, cutting up a bunch of shit. I got somebody get ready to come out.
Yeah, I need somebody that make hats. 'Cause I need a
I
hat
do
too.
those too. I got the hat shit sitting right here in front of me,
Oh
sitting on the
shit.
table.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a hat.
I got the part sleeve, the cut.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all on here, y'all follow King Lion. You know how King Lion got that headband?
Yeah.
I need that. I need some shit like that too.
Say less. Just send me the logo.
What's that, Mo? I can't see it. You gotta zoom in. I can't see it.
Oh, that's my profile. That's the cover of my book. I switched it. It
Oh.
probably just updated.
Yeah, that shit hot, bro.
Records, you heard? Death Row Records on
Welcome to
YouTube.
Death Row. We probably gonna have to get that shit on a shirt too.
Right.
I
I'm about
wonder
to
if you
give me
can
a
buy the name. Can we buy the name Death Row?
Nah, you ain't gonna be able to buy it. Snoop own that.
Cause I know somebody bought it. They bought out the record company.
Snoop got it now.
Oh,
He bought it from Snoop.
We just gonna go with the adjustment syndicate and just keep shouting out Death Row
yeah, but
Records.
we need a logo for that.
You know what you can use on Death Row? You know what I mean? And while you can say Death Row, but at least on paperwork for, you know what I mean? So you not stepping with nobody's shit.
We see it now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice. What,
Mess up the-
Halo game. It's all sun worship. It's all sun worship. It's all sun worship.
Look, I put a couple of Greeks and Romans faded in the back too. You can see it. Look at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see them heads.
Yeah.
Then my wife was doing the.
We gonna get that book. We gonna go by step by step. We gonna do the podcast. We got to come up with questions because I'm not doing no talking on it. I'm just asking questions. That's it.
Yep, and I'm getting people, especially in our community, familiar with what primary, secondary, and tertiary sources are. Because they don't know. They'll be like, oh, Matthew said this. He's not a source. That's like a almanac, an encyclopedia. A compilation is tertiary. It's not secondary or primary. So they shouldn't even be in a field of academia talking about mythology. And that's something that scholars are afraid to say. So they let us come to the conclusion, but our people are suffering from the results, or the practices of these people more than other communities. So we got to come straight out and just stick the dagger in. We ain't got time to sugarcoat it and let other people come to the conclusion. We're going to say it flat out. This is pseudepigraphy. Give you the definition of what it is, and then you go check the dates on these gospels, and then you go, well, damn, this is pseudepigraphy. It ain't no question about it. Because these terms is what be getting people mixed up a lot. We don't know the terminology or what they